Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back looking at my new Olight Perun. I'm comparing it to the H2R. There's a lot of people doing that right now. They're comparing these two and they're saying that the H2R is better, that the Perun is junk, that Olight's going backwards, that they're not, how is this an upgrade, how is this better? It has less throw, less lumens, it's not as bright. How is this better? And to be honest with you, that was my initial thoughts as well. When I first got the Perun and I was playing with the H2R in the house, shining them against the wall, the H2R was just blowing the Perun out of the water. So much brighter. The hot spot was tight. And I was disappointed. I felt like Olight had let me down. I felt like, how is the Perun better? The H2R is better. It's brighter, more lumens, more power. It'll last, 45 days on moonlight mode. 1 lumen, that's crazy, This is only 10 days, 5 lumens. This one's better, right? That was my thoughts. I had to stop and I had to think, okay, Olight is what? They're a professional flashlight manufacturing company. They're saying that this Perun is an upgrade. So how can I see what they're seeing? How can I, and I really had to get to the point of stopping myself from trying to be too abrasive about this thing, and let me just be neutral here for just a little bit, and let me take both of these lights out and use them for what they're designed to be used for, which is a headlamp, right? Put it on my head with the strap. Strap's the same, the pocket clip is the same, okay? So what I did is exactly what I just told you. Took them both out. I got some notes here that I'm going to be reading. Took them both out off camera. That way I didn't have to worry about filming. Did an overnighter. When I came back from the overnighter, I then had completely different thoughts than what my initial thoughts were. This Perun is a significant upgrade. The H2R, yes, it's brighter, no doubt about it, but this is a better light. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you why in this video. Let's just start off. These are comparisons, okay? Let's just start off with the price. So the H2R, you can pick it up for like 90 bucks. That comes with the head strap. Perun, 85 bucks. You got to pay an additional 15 bucks for the head strap. Unless you can catch this on Christmas sale, it's like 65 bucks in a bundle with the head strap. So that's cool. That's cheaper than the H2R, right? If you can catch that deal. Now let's talk about moonlight mode for a second. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say that. I should say that I like a long moonlight mode. Some people like a dim one. Some people like a bright one. And Olight, as a manufacturer that does business with a ton of different people, they're trying to satisfy everybody. That's impossible to do. Okay, so what they do as a company is they come out and they come out with a product that they think is going to fit the needs of the masses of people. Now, some people over here ain't going to be very happy. Some people over here ain't going to be very happy, but they try to meet in the middle. Now, if you look at the run times of the Perun, they're very similar to the Baton Pro. Okay, 2000 lumens. They're not exact, but they're close to being the same performance. In fact, the belt clip, pocket clip here on the Baton Pro will fit these headlamps too. Just a random thought. So let's go back to what I was saying. Let's talk about moonlight mode. Okay, 45 days of runtime out of this H2R. That's 1 lumen. That's a very dim amount of light, but it lasts a long time. Now for this moonlight mode to be effective, you know, you're looking into your bag or something close, it's perfect for stuff like that. 5 lumens for 10 days. So now you don't have to be so close. You could be a little bit further away and still see. Like for example, a headlamp shining your path that you're going to be walking. Okay, on moonlight mode, you could do that with this one. On moonlight mode here, unless it's super dark, you know, it's kind of hard to see your feet because it's too far. What I wish they would have done was I wish they would have met in the middle, because I think 1 is just a little on the low side, but it gives you that long run time. 5 is a little on the high side for me, but it lessens the run time. So for me personally, I would have loved to have seen something like maybe 3 lumens that'll last like, I don't know, 25, 30 days. That would have been really cool, because I think that would have been a perfect balance of being able to see just enough, but also being just enough stealthy, you know, where people across the canyon ain't going to see me walking around. So if you go with moonlight mode, there's not really, I mean, personally, if I had to pick these, I still kind of go with the runtime, but I like being able to see more too. So it's kind of like, wow, you know, it's kind of crazy. Now let's move up. Let's move up to low. You're going to see that both lights on low put out 30 lumens. Now when you shine them against the wall, the H2R is going to be brighter. You're going to see more hot light. But the Perun, it's not as hot, but it's like I said a second ago, what is a headlamp designed to do? It's designed to shine a light, you know, right in front of you and to catch your peripheral. This H2R is putting light a little further. It's more almost of a thrower type of a headlamp. Headlamps, in my opinion, aren't designed to be putting light across the canyon. It's nice that this has the ability to do that, but I really like the pattern of light on this one more in that aspect. So again, 30 lumens on low. The H2R, 50 hours of run time. The Perun, 47.5. So we're dealing with what, 2.5 hours difference? The H2R lasts longer. Let's bump these guys up to medium. Let's go with the H2R, 150 lumens for 10 hours of runtime. Now on the Perun, they dropped that down from 150 down to 120. But they bumped the runtime from 10 up to 15 hours. That's pretty cool. So the Perun did good on the medium. Now if we talk about high, big, significant changes here. You got 600 lumens for 2.5 hours on the old one, and 500 lumens for 4 hours. So you're losing 100 lumens, but you're gaining, what is that, 2.5, 3, an hour and a half of runtime? Big change, good change, right? Let's go to turbo for a minute. Turbo, 2,300 lumens. No doubt in anyone's mind, and I'm in agreement here, that is a significant amount of light. Very bright. For 1 minute. 1 minute. And then it drops down to 750 lumens for an additional 1.83 hours. Under 2 hours. Now look at what they did here. This is why I call this an improvement. 2,000 lumens. So they toned it back a little bit. They held the reins back a little bit. Didn't let it run all the way to 2,300 lumens. They kicked it down to 2,000, but they doubled and then some the amount of turbo time. So from 1 minute, they got 2.5 minutes at 2,000. Then after it steps down, this one ended up stepping down to 750. The Perun, after step down, it's at 800. Okay. So let's talk about that. 750 step down lasts under 2 hours, 1.83 hours. The Perun, after step down, is higher in lumens. We're talking 750 versus 800, but now we're talking 2 hours and 40 minutes of runtime, almost 3 hours. Significant difference there. Which brings me back to another thought of moonlight mode. Okay, moonlight mode, the lowest setting. The M2R Pro, in my opinion, of any Olight that I've ever seen, has the best moonlight mode I've ever seen. It has 1 lumen that lasts 50 days. Why couldn't they have put that in the Perun? Well, and it all comes down to the lens of what they've accomplished with this size of lens. Because the tight pattern that they've put on this moonlight mode is fantastic. I mean, they hit a home run on the moonlight mode on the M2R Pro, in my opinion. They can't fit that big of a lens in this little right angle head flashlight. It's too big. Look at that, the size difference. It's not going to fit. So we're dealing with the 90-degree light. You're not going to have the same type of performance as what you would in the M2R Pro. So let's talk about some other things. SOS. Both of these lights have SOS. Strobe. Neither of them have a strobe. Throw, distance of throw. We talked about that. 153 meters on the original and 120 meters on the Perun. So we lost some throw, but what they don't tell you is you lost throw, but you gained flood. You can shine this Perun, excuse me, and shine the H2R, and the Perun's gonna let you see almost 180 degrees. Where the H2R is only gonna see like 45 degrees or something like that. Maybe 90 degrees. Big difference. That's so, for me, you know, it comes down to us as a society, us as human beings. We have gotten so used to wanting bigger, wanting more. I want a bigger motor in my truck. Everybody thinks that bigger is better. It's not. Oh, I need a computer. It's got to have 250 terabytes of storage or whatever, you know. We became that as a society. You want cheese on your burger? No, I want extra cheese on my burger. So when it comes to headlamps, it's no different. A lot of people think that more lumens is better. It's not. This is a better light. IPX rating, waterproofness. They're both IPX8 and they're both down to 2 meters. The weight, now this is a significant one. This one will blow you away. The H2R comes in at 6.14 ounces. That's 174 grams. Okay. Perun, 120 grams. And this is with the battery on both. 4.23 ounces. So we've lost 2 ounces of weight and got a better light. Again, it comes down to what is a headlamp designed to do? It's designed to shine light so you can have your hands free to do what you're doing. Let's talk about the length of these lights. Now, if I take this pocket clip off here and I set both of these lights right there, the Perun is just a wee bit taller. So the H2R, 110 millimeters tall. The Perun is 112 millimeters tall. So that's 4.33 inches or 4.41 inches. A little bit taller. So the H2R was a little smaller. Now the head diameter. The head diameter on the Perun is a little bit larger because it's a wider lens. It has that same almost kind of lens as the Baton Pro in size, right? And I like that. That's what helps give it that nice peripheral. I'm telling you, with the Perun, when you light this baby up, you can see everything. There's not really a significant hot spot in the center of things like the H2R had, which I really like what they've done. So again, let's talk about head diameter. 25 millimeters on this one, on the H2R, versus 26 millimeters on the Perun. That's 0.95 inches or 1.02 inches, a little bit bigger. Body diameter, exactly the same, 0.91 of an inch, or 23 millimeters on this one and 23.2 on the old one. So the Perun's just slightly thinner. Batteries. This is cool. So the H2R had 3,000 milliamp hour battery, which is very good. I mean, you saw the run times. They got some good performance out of 3,000 milliamp hour. Milliamp hour is the amount of storage space that battery will hold, and that kind of, it's like having more gas in your car. It's going to go farther, right? Well, the Perun, they upgraded the battery to 3,500, so you gain 500 milliamp hour. That's almost like a CR123, a rechargeable. Those things are like 600 milliamp hour. So it's almost like having an 18650 and a little RCR123 right next to it. You get a better battery with the Perun. Candela. Now this number, Candela, is basically a number that describes the amount of light that is produced. Okay, usually the bigger candela, the brighter the light. So the H2R candela is 5850. That's pretty impressive. This one, the Perun candela, 3600. So this one's got a lot more brightness, right? Chargers that come with these, you got the MCC1 versus the MCC3. MCC3 lets you charge up to 2 amp. Now the cool thing about that is the MCC3 that comes with the Perun will charge your H2R, and vice versa. It's just how long is it going to take, right? You look at me taking this pocket clip off and you see that there's some discoloration on the head of the light there. Same thing here. It hasn't changed, okay? And the clip fits the same, fits both. Now let's talk about the head strap. On the H2R, I really liked that. They included the head strap with the light. I think that's the way it should be. Personally, they both come with a pocket clip. The Perun did not come with a head strap unless you buy it on the sale in a bundle. Then the price is like 65 bucks. And then, but after the sale, it's probably going to be an accessory. It's going to cost you like $15, which I think they need to change that and include the head strap. Pocket clip, yes, both of them. Can you run dual CR123s or dual RCR123s in these lights? No, don't even try to do it. Lockout mode. They both have a lockout mode. That's where you press and hold. You see moonlight mode, you keep holding, and then they both will turn off, and then they're locked out so that when you try to turn them on in the bag or something like that, and what they'll shine is the moonlight mode. They will show you the moonlight mode. Now, locking them and unlocking them, I will say that the Perun unlocks faster and it locks faster. Now, do they have a timer function? Automatic shut off in 3 minutes, automatic shut off in 9 minutes. No, the H2R does not. Yes, the Perun does. So that's cool. I like that. Now let's get to the big feature here, proximity sensor. Proximity sensor. A lot of people complained about the H2R getting too close to things. You know, it would melt, you know, holes in their pockets or heat up their leg, or they'd feel it and they'd, ouch, you know, burn themselves. They changed that with this one, proximity sensor. Now this is where it really comes into the discussion of what are you gonna use your headlamp for? Personally, I like the proximity sensor. If you get, let me just turn this guy on and I'll show you. Okay, so if you get too close, the light senses that and it'll tone itself down to low until the object gets farther away. Okay, so it tones itself down. I like that. Also, if you keep that obstruction in the way for an extended period of time, This light, after 1 minute, will shut off. So maybe you fell asleep in your tent or whatever, it'll turn off. Or if there's an obstruction in your bag or something like that, you forgot to lock it out before you put it in your bag, it will turn itself off in 1 minute if there's an obstruction. So I think that's pretty cool. I like the proximity sensor. If you're gonna be somebody who is maybe rappelling down into waterfalls or canyoning or something where there's gonna be a lot of water or something, you might not like that, because if you didn't see my review video of this, you saw where I put it under the sink and I had all the water going. It really made that thing dim and come back and dim, and you got to keep that thing clear. I really wish they would have used glass on the lens. Since it's going to be a clear lens like that, I wish they would have used glass, you know, because glass is, I think, going to be harder to scratch than this TIR plastic. But it is what it is. I think the proximity is really cool. If you're going to be somebody that likes that, definitely go with the Perun. If you're going to be somebody that can't afford to have that thing dimming on you, go with the H2R. It'll stay on whatever brightness it is, and it'll stay on that. Pretty cool. But I think both are fabulous. I really do. I think both are amazing. Both rechargeable, tail cap. I think they're good lights. When I was out testing these lights, I went out to a water source and I was looking at the water, and I had both of them on turbo. I started with the H2R first, and I was looking at the water with turbo on. The hot spot of this light was so intense that I couldn't see the rocks in the water, and if I was looking for fish or crawdads or something like that, I don't think I would have seen them because it was just too much light. But when I switched over to the Perun and I put it on turbo, I could really see everything. I could see the rocks. If there was crawdads there, I'm sure that I would have seen them. The visibility was so much better. I have the H2R in moonlight mode. I'm shining it down, and I'm about 3 feet above the ground. You can't even see nothing. Now on the right here, I've got the Perun on moonlight mode. Perun is right here on the right. The Perun you can actually see, but on the original H2R you can't see. This is the Perun that's moving. Let's go up to low. That's the Perun that's on low. Let's go up to low on the H2R. Now let me reposition this camera. So we're looking at the H2R now on the left and the Perun on the right. Okay, so now let's go up to medium on the Perun on the right, medium on the H2R on the left. You can see that the Perun has a much floodier beam. This is the Perun here that we're looking at. This is the H2R that we're looking at here. So the H2R kind of gets a little more distance. Here's the Perun again. Let's go up to high. This is the Perun on high. Let's get the H2R on high. There's the H2R on high. Here's the Perun coming into the picture again. You can see that the H2R has a much hotter spot. This is the Perun wiggling on the right. Here's the H2R on the left. So let's go look at this tree over here. That's the Perun. Now let's get that H2R over there. Now let's go to turbo. 1, 2. There's the Perun on turbo. Again, like I said, you can see everything. It lights up everything. Now let's get the H2R on turbo. Bear with me here. I'm messing with my camera. Okay, let's go to turbo. There is the H2R on turbo. Here's the Perun again on turbo. There we go. So we're looking at the Perun on turbo. And we're looking at the H2R on turbo. Turn them both off. I want to say thank you for stopping by. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. I hope this video helped you out. If you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and watch this video 100 times. It helps me out. Until next time, thank you again. We'll see you later. Bye for now.